Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Brahmlok, the world of Lord Brahma. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is a reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Aditi, Aditya, Aditi. I have already explained. A sense of this is Aditi is the mother of gods as well as human beings. The indwelling human soul is called Aditi or Kundalini, Antratma, Atman, and it is made of helium-4. And this is what I have tried to explain because it's an inert matter, it's a material form, not a material thing. I think I've made it very clear. So this particular thing just a reminder that our Antaratma, our Kundalini comes from the core of the sun, which is released after the fusion of hydrogen into helium-4, and that becomes the Divine Mother as well as Antaratma for spiritual journey of either. Even spirit could be called helium-4 only. We also have shown that ideal time for Kundalini to get into a human body is 22 weeks of growing fetus, transform the genetic structure to suit to form perfect human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology for spiritual purposes. I have already explained that. And then it sleeps in Muladhara Chakra, and then it rises after sleep to go to Swadhisthana Chakra, the first thing, owns place, and then to Nabhi Chakra and Manipura Chakra in case of emergency. Rising above comes only when you start concentrating on higher chakras by and large. In a subtle thing, there are certain things designed, but experience could come when you start using higher centers of consciousness. And then what I have explained, there are not 7 chakras, there are 10 plus chakras which are major, connected with endocrine system and autonomic nervous system, which bring all the perfect integrated health, psychology. So from that point, I think this revision is good enough to say it is helium-4, which is Antaratma or Kundalini. Now, I have also explained there are sheaths around the soul, the causal body. There are 5 sheaths which are external, which are Annamay Kosh, Pranamay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Vijnanmay Kosh, Anandmay Kosh, which could be related with the solid matter of the physicalized structure, vital breath, the mind, intelligence, and the bliss. This I have already explained. This is a revision. Also, you have 5 inner sheaths of Kundalini, which are Antarang Koshas, where Annamay is outside, within that is Pranamay, within that is Manomay, within that is Vijnanmay, and within that is Anandmay Kosh. This is what Upanishad also talks about it. So, general feeling, externalized and internalized, these 10 sheaths are responsible for everyone to get the maximum benefit of Kundalini, Antaratma or helium-4. I think I have made that very, very clear. Now, because of my understanding of Antaratma or Kundalini, the first lesson which I have learnt was very clear that I could understand 10 incarnation of God or Lord Vishnu very clearly. And the first is Matsya, the fish. Second is Kurma, the tortoise. Third is Vara, the wild boar. Fourth is Narasimha, the half lion, half man. Fifth is Vamana, a dwarf Brahman. Sixth is Parshurama, which I relate with rage and the limbic system. Seventh in Lord Rama, the perfect human being, the cortical brain, intelligence, ethics, etc. Eighth is Balram, the primate brain, discrimination and non-aligned. And I definitely convinced beyond doubt Buddha does not form a part of Lord Vishnu's incarnations. I would rather have Balram, who had all the qualities of a perfect human being and also higher, but he had a discretion not to align with one group or other. That is also part of the human system. So that eighth, whereas ninth becomes Lord Krishna avatar, that means he functions from neocortical level. He goes by dharma, righteousness, and is the divine being, which literally represent one of the highest form of divine consciousness. And he wanted to set dharma right. If somebody is doing wrong, he has to make it correct. He takes a proactive decision. That is the ninth level. And Kalki is going to be tomorrow, integrated divine being, beyond human mind, future evolution, and could be revelation of things. So these 10 things I had realized very clearly in my young days. So understanding 10 stages of development or 10 Vishnu incarnation was not a big issue as far as I'm concerned. I had accepted it, understood it, and had very clear idea with this. And I would say this realization came from Kundalini, chakras, and nadis, the experience when I found 10 centers of consciousness within the nervous system, endocrine system, autonomic ganglia, and the planets. So that experience was nothing so very difficult. Maybe I was born with it, or I could understand it much easily. So let's give the credit of 10 stages of development of being understood because of the presence of Kundalini within my body. An experience of Kundalini has given me that. So let's think this is more or less clear as from that angle. Next, go to the next. Helium 4, Aditi, Kundalini, Antaratma, Atma is clear. Now, I have also spoken about Mahakundalini, the descent of Divine Mother, which is Neon 22. And this has come from higher self, and I did not realize it early. I think after getting to see that I could produce alpha frequency with after opening the eyes, a new awareness got, and as a result, I was connected with higher. So let me put it this way. When internalization of Kundalini within the ventricles of brain and then going to the Vaikuntha, which is a residing place, the world of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, sorry. Lord Vishnu's Vaikuntha made me realize that Kundalini comes there, then you will understand, and this was the result. But after having understood this, my journey starts for the next one to understand what could be other world which is higher than that. And that's time when I started understanding Mahakundalini, the descent of Mahakundalini, and relating it with Neon 21 is where I realized Brahmlok. Now, two things which I realized after coming to that stage with the help of Neon 22 are Mahakundalini, that Lord Brahma, symbolic representation of 3 plus heads. What do they represent? If I am very clear, 3 plus 1 by 7 is equal to 22 by 7 or a pi, the mathematical design, what is represented by Lord Brahma's case. So from that angle, I knew Lord Brahma represents 22 by 7, but at the same time, he represents 1/3 of the divinity's creations. So I have divided by another 1/3 to make it 22 by 21 as the number of Lord Brahma, or call it Brahman, and associate with Brahman. That was the first realization of seeing the picture of Lord Brahma I realized that first stage of creation could be equivalent to 22 by 21, and almost in the beginning by 95, 96 and 1997 itself, I was quite clear this number is the first stage of creation is equal to 22 by 21, and I've already explained in the present. Then reading about Mandukya Upanishad, I also realized Om also represents the same thing. Akara is made of 7 parts, Ukara of 7 parts, Makara of 7 parts, then Turiya 1. The hidden wisdom is again 22 by 21. And the symbol of Om which I had made in this was done by me way back in 1974. So I'm quite happy that I had done that subconsciously. But after 96, only I could understand, after making the first symbol logo or Akhand Foundation, I think this journey, and that's what I saw Gayatri Mantra, Om, very clear. So this made me understand what this. Then I went to the next stage to understand what Brahmlok is. Let's see the next one. This particular sim and other Upanishad made me realize that solar system is made of 21 parts. And Upanishads say very clearly these 21 parts of solar system can be measured by 21 steps taken by a spiritually enlightened person. But then question comes to go beyond the solar system is a 22nd step, which is very important. And that made me realize and conclude that first stage of creation is 22 by 21. And then looking at the entire thing, I found if we have Vishnu Lok as a ventricle of the brain or Vaikuntha, which could be third ventricle of the human brain, then Urth cloud, which is beyond the solar system, could be Brahmlok. From that angle, I've been able to see very clearly Brahmlok, the world of Lord Brahma, is associated with Urth cloud, and this form with the 22nd step, stages of evolution, we can go beyond to Brahmlok, which is full of bliss. And as a result, many of the Upanishads I could understand and decode many stories which were not decoded before. But this also made me realize within my own body, below pelvis, there are 7 lokas which can be associated with Mother Earth. Patal Lok, Mahatal, Rasatal, Talatal, Sutal, Vital and Atal. Atal could be the surface of Earth. Then on the external side, from Muladhara to Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anhata, Vishuddhi, Ajna to Sahasrara are another 7 levels which could be associated with Antariksh or the atmosphere of the earth around. That also I could understand, and I've explained that in my earlier books too. Then going beyond to the higher thing, we also say there's 7 heavens. And they 7 heavens are Bhurlok, Bhuvarlok, Svalok, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, or Satyalok. These also form the Bhyatis of Mahagayatri Mantra. 7 chakras here I would say associate with this external root, not for the internal root. Internal root is 10, external root is 7. And association of these 7 heavens, I am very clear if we take sun and earth out, we have already done, and moon also out, which conjunction you can feel within the body. Beyond Sahasrara chakra, in planets are heavenly bodies which have an influence are what 7 in my opinion: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune and Uranus play a very important role. Pluto, no. since we are already covered, and then 7 sun, earth, moon plus 7 becomes 10 again. And from that angle, I was very happy that with the help of Neon 21, descent of Mahashakti, which has come from Urth cloud to the best of my understanding, made me realize that there are 21 parts of solar system, as well as an enlightened human being. There could be 21 parts which were responsible for the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. But to go beyond to the moksha state, you got to go to the 22nd step, and that is Brahmlok. After that, you get freedom from cycle. Then you want to come back, or when you go and stay back in Brahmlok and be there as long as you want, and take birth again as God, godly person for further evolution. So these things are also very clear way back. So I think descent of Mahashakti, of Mahakundalini, made me realize the beauty of Brahmalok. Kundalini made me realize the beauty of Vaikuntha or Vishnu Lok. Having understood these two very clearly, and I am happy that right up to my publication of the first book, Akhand and Essence of Universal Consciousness, I have written very clearly 22 by 21 to the power of 10 is very clear. What is beyond that, I did not know. Let me make it very clear. Up to 2002, publication of Akhand and Essence of Universal Consciousness, the mathematical design of nature which has appeared very clearly was 22 by 21, which is Brahma, and 10 power of 10 are 10 stages of Vishnu. Brahma and Vishnu were well clear in my mind at the time of publication of the book. But subsequently the search started. And how did it start and what happened? Let me explain to you. Adi Prashakti I had been hearing since my childhood. But one thing I have also known, there are so many things we read, but not everything we are able to understand at the first sitting. There is a time for every understanding which comes. I think this picture became quite clear when I came back to Chennai again in 2009 and started working on further meditation. When I realized Adi Prashakti, the first man mother, represents organ 40, and greater universe is developed from this. But more and more when I started realizing of the beauty of organ 40 within me and Adi Prashakti, I realized that there are 5 elements from which everything is created. The third stage of creation, Lord Shiva, which we talked, and also Lord Moksha, regeneration and resolution is that. That's the time when I realized that 5 heads of Lord Shiva represent Panchbhutas and how they are. And then going deeper and found what could be. But that's the time I started realizing that there is third stage, what could it be? And that was, I have already explained, was unfolded in the form of Divyank rectangle first, and then it was 22 by 21 to the power of 10.34419 of the 5 digits which are associated with Panchbhutas, first heads, and with that I could get the number 1.618034, which is the Divyank. I think that made me realize the Lord Shiva clearly, the 5 digits of Lord Shiva, and then led to the particular creation of Divyank, the divine design of nature. In that you can see 22 by 21 is Lord Brahma, 10 is 10 incarnation of Vishnu, 0.344 are the 5 bhutas, are 5 digits of Lord Shiva, equivalent is 1.6180. That is the perfect structure you can see in this particular thing. But Divyank also made me realize the beauty of Trikuta mountains, 3 peaks, also Dattatreya's Lord Shiva, and supported by Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh or Shiva are the 3 heads in a united body. That means Dattatreya And that's what is represented Divyank 22 by 21 Brahma, 10 Vishnu, 0.3 for Lord Shiva. And then gives you a complete picture of the perfect design with which the universe is designed is Divyank. And same thing made me also realize why three pindis are stone images of Mata Vaishno Devi temple where I had taken birth. And there is a statue of 5.5 under this thing made me realize that Mata Vaishno Devi as well as the Tatri are male and female representations of the Divyank alone. From that angle, I'm really happy that I could find this number over a period of maybe 60 years. When realization came of Brahma, the first stage of creation is equal to 22 by 21, the 10th stage is the development, and the last third stage is equivalent to this, and this is a perfect design for the first time in the history of mankind. That way I am privileged that 50 to 60 years of hardcore scientific knowledge or wisdom on one side and spiritual wisdom, and then making both look like a spiritual science has made me reveal to the world something which is required for everybody to create new wisdom for perfect knowledge from school, college to the university. Thereby everybody can learn for life, doesn't have to unlearn and relearn and waste their life. They can go beyond what I've done and then see the application. And I've been trying my level best in the last since 2015 when I conceived this particular number. Almost 9 years I've been consistently talking about 10 years its application parts and examples I've seen in perfect human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, as well as solar system, all the perfect things designed with this. And now, next over maybe another 5 or 10 years, the videos will be only centered on this structure, its application, and use so that we have a perfect walking, talking encyclopedia for the world, which does not have. And as a result, all the misconceptions of mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and medical sciences and other subjects would be eradicated with the help of Divyank. And I'm sure with the help of realization of Kundalini within me, helium 4, descent of Kundalini, which is also part of me now, the voice of silence, neon 22, and also the argon 40, which is being developed in the body from potassium itself. So I think now science and spirituality I'm able to explain and then leave it. So I think I will leave it at this juncture. Then we'll go to the next stage when we come to the next bridge. So thank you very much. This picture, as you know, is thank you. And I think this also is a sum of all my work finally can be put into this. Whether it's a Divyank, whether it's the chakras, Nadi, Tantra Vidya, Mantra, Yantras, Tantras, everything is there in this. I don't need more than this particular picture to explain to A to Z of everything in a total inanimate mathematical geometrical structures. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that. So thank you very much and